Support Wrestle Talk!
Give us a subscribe. Hello and welcome to the Wrestle Talk News. I'm Ollie Davis. Press the thumbs up and leave a comment down below because I'll be replying to people from out of nowhere when this episode goes live, where we can talk about Austin Aries' package.
You know, we always listen to the WWE Universe, so back by popular demand, it's not a good package, it's not a bad package, it's the package, my package. Take a look.
That's right, it's the new Wrestle Talk News segment that's sweeping YouTube out of context wrestling commentary. Because wrestling commentators say a lot of stuff, and sometimes that stuff sounds kinky. Like this.
Big man Gallows in against big man Cesaro.
Right. He practices the art of beefy karate.
Beefy.
Karate for big men.
Okay,
nice.
Okay.
Big and tall karate.
Thank you to Angus Knox for sending that clip in of the New Day SmackDown commentary from August 31st this year. Post your out-of-context wrestling commentary submissions in the memes audio chat on our Discord server to get your own shout-out. Even with all the context in the world, though, our next story is still very disturbing. McMahon's fascination with incest storylines segue! Of all the terrible ideas that make it to TV in WWE, like Triple H simulating intercourse with a corpse, or trying to make Becky Lynch a heel, there are many more terrible ideas that don't get used. Arguably the most famous of these is Vince McMahon pitching an incest storyline between his children, Shane and Stephanie McMahon, back in the noughties, to explain Stephanie's then real-life pregnancy. Thankfully, producer Bruce Pritchard eventually managed to get Vince to drop the idea after an entire Sunday, an entire day of my life that I will never get back, of creative talks over the storyline. The OP Radio podcast have now brought up the scrapped plans with their recent guest Shane McMahon himself, who noted he'd never heard about the idea but joked, "Well, my sister's hot. I don't know if I would have really minded that." Move aside, Batista! Triple H has got a new WrestleMania program. After taking several months off following April's Greatest Royal Rumble, Commissioner Shane made his return to SmackDown on Tuesday's 1000th episode. Unlike many of the other nostalgic one-night-only cameos, though, PW Insider claims this was Shane's full return to TV, where he'll be worked into company storylines and will be appearing on SmackDown in the weeks to come. And that's not the only big change coming to SmackDown. The latest Wrestling Observer newsletter is reporting that as part of SmackDown's move to Fox in 2019, the network will be positioning the Blue brand in their sports block of programming from Thursday to Sunday. This will mean SmackDown will be scheduled alongside slightly more legitimate competitive sports. And as a result, the Fox network wants the SmackDown show to be less comedy and more in a sports direction. Cancel the dance breaks! While Vince is said to be more into comedy presentation, Fox have paid a staggering $1 billion over 5 years for the show. And as we've seen with the big money Saudi Arabia deal affecting WWE creative, with the returns of Shawn Michaels, Brock Lesnar, and the World Cup to determine the best in the world format, McMahon listens to money! Maybe too much. Amidst the growing controversy around Saudi Arabia, we asked you yesterday whether WWE should break ties with the country ahead of their upcoming Crown Jewel show. 65% of you thought they should, while 35% of you reckons they should go ahead. What are the most intriguing wrestling posts of the week? Click the WrestleTalk.com link on screen now to find out. And is Cody trying to poach WWE stars from the company? Watch the video in the top left to learn more. I've been Ollie Davis, and that was wrestling.